Hi guys, it's Mark from Burton Bibles. Welcome back to the channel. It's been quite some time since we last put out a video, but here I am. I'm here with another Bible review for you, and I'm quite excited about this one. Well, I suppose excited isn't quite the word, it's more apprehensive, shall we say. Today I've managed to get hold of a new Thompson Chain Reference Bible. Kirkbride, the long-time publisher of the Thompson Chain Reference Bible, was recently acquired and all its properties by Zondervan, which is part of the huge HarperCollins publishing company. So I was very interested to see what they were going to do with this beloved, much beloved and well-deserved beloved Bible. I'm particularly interested to see what they do with the paper and the print, which I had long experienced troubles with and disappointments with this Bible whilst it was under Kirkbride's ownership. It seemed to be extremely hit and miss. So I'm interested to see what they do with the paper and print and also the binding, if there's anything to be seen there. Let's take a closer look at this Bible down at the desk. We'll also perhaps refer to my other Thompson Chain Reference Bibles as well. So let's take a look now. Okay then guys, let's take a look at this, the Thompson Chain Reference Bible, and what it's going to look like under the Zondervan overseership, shall we say. So here is the box. It's a two-part box, not a clamshell type, just a normal two-part box, glossy cover. This is the KJV version that we're looking at, and this in particular is, if I can see it, is the bonded leather. There we go, black bonded leather. Retails for $75. I think I picked this up for about £48 off Amazon. So this is the standard size, the normal size, not the handy size or the large print, although I do believe that Zondervan are publishing both of those other sizes as well, just in case you are interested in that. So I went for the black bonded leather. I'd heard some negative things about it, but I thought, well, I'll give it a go anyway. So this is the Thompson Chain Reference. As far as I'm aware, nothing has changed inside the Bible. They've just picked it up from Kirkbride and are now publishing this Bible. I don't know if any of the printing arrangements have changed. I believe this edition is still printed in America, which is where Kirkbride were printing, so I don't know if it's at the same presses or what, but we'll take a good look inside at this Bible and see if we can ascertain that. So yeah, it looks fairly standard at the moment, and we'll get inside and have a good look at it. Pop this Bible out, and we are met with the bonded leather cover. Now it has changed slightly. We've got this down the side now, which is something that I had seen a few years ago in a few of the other editions, which were Kirkbride printed. They've gone for this slightly more modern style. It is just printed on, it's just gilded on, and straight away feeling this bonded leather cover, I have to say I'm not impressed at all. We've got some perimeter stitching here, but I'm really not sure why it's there. The whole cover basically feels like card. It's that scratchy, almost vinyl feel to it. Certainly looks as if it would crease, or yeah, I'm pretty sure that would fold and crease if you were to persuade it. So not impressed by this. It feels cheap and not particularly nice at all. I believe there are leather soft covers, and there will be leather in the future, so I can't wait to see what one of those feels like. So we have very minimal yap here. There's not much overlap at all, so be aware of that. Your book block will probably not take... It will probably take some damage if you drop it, of course, or even if it's in a case, because that yap is really minimal. It's perhaps only 5 or 6 millimeters. It looks like we've got a single red ribbon here. We've not really got any head or tail bands. There's something that's been glued on there. The Bible is Smithsonian, I believe. These tail bands would be just glued in anyway. But at the moment it's not filling me with confidence. The gilt seems okay. seems a little uneven in places maybe, but it seems okay. So yeah, nice flexible Bible at least anyway. It does promise to lie flat as well, which all the Thompsons always used to. So let's take a good look at the contents of this Bible, which is of course far more important. Now of course we're inside, so the light is going to make the worst of any ghosting here. But I do have to say that I have read this Bible the last day or two for my readings, and I have to say I've read it in natural light, and from my initial impressions, this book block seems better. Not just slightly better, but noticeably better. The paper appears to be slightly different to what was offered before. It hasn't got that same sort of waxy feel to it that the old Thompson had. The paper seems to be a little bit whiter. I'm not sure if that's just me. And this is the standard size. So this is, I think it's an 8.6 font that they claim on this, 8.3. So I have to say, reading it was quite all right. The handy size one, which I have here, this is my Cambridge printed and published handy size. Look at that for lying flat. But this is the smaller size font, and I have to say my eyes now struggle with the handy size font. But this is the standard size, and it's pretty nice. I do have a Church Bible Publishers version here, which is the large print, and as you can see, there is a substantial improvement again on the large print. But I have to say, this book block seems to me, anyway, to be an improvement. In my view, the standard size Thompson was by far and away the worst Thompson that you could get. The handy size and the large print sizes all seem to be slightly better than the standard size. The standard size really suffered from terrible paper print issues, but this, as you can see, is looking quite nice. Quite nice indeed. It all seems to be lined up, which is something that I'd noticed on other Thompsons. Again, was very hit and miss. You could see that the lines were not, sorry, we'll just get that in focus. The lines were not sort of lined up very well, not matched up very well. And in parts of the Bible, you might still see that, but this seems to be a lot more consistent. What else I noticed on other Thompsons was the alignment at the top of the page. So, for example, here, where the chapter and verses are and the book titles, that always seemed to be slightly higgledy-piggledy on some printings, but this seems to be pretty good. So if we flick to the printing information, we'll just have a good look at this because this is of interest. It says here, obviously you've now got all of the Zondervan. It's now registered trademark of Zondervan. No mention of Kirkbride in here, apart from in the maps. The maps are still the Kirkbride maps. And it says here that it is published by Zondervan 2021. This is the 5th edition, which stretches back to 1988. And it does say that it is printed in the United States of America. So that is interesting. They haven't farmed it out to China or South Korea or anywhere like that. So that's an interesting thing to note. But this does seem to be better. It's just a shame for me anyway that it's let down by this really shoddy bonded leather cover. Let's take a look at the red letter. Let's zoom in. So you can see from this red letter that again, this now looks a bit more like the red letter that you would see in a Nelson Bible, which of course is also owned by the same group. So the red letter is inoffensive. It's not that garish, orangey sort of pink colour that we're used to seeing in some Thompsons. And if I just pull in the large print here, the large print from Church Bible, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but certainly it's a lot brighter red here, a really light red, whereas it's a much deeper, more subtle red on the right-hand side. So I guess it's horses for courses whether you like that or not, but I certainly find this to be pretty good. this red letter is certainly an improvement. Now, I mentioned that I don't think there's any changes in here, so we still have the Kirkbride maps, which are familiar to us all by now. I did notice some note paper in the back, which I thought was interesting. I certainly don't remember that being in any of my other Thompsons. And as I quickly just check my Church Bible Publishers one, there's no note paper in that one. So I don't know whether that's something that's been added by Zondervan. I'm not too sure. But certainly it's nice to have there. It is on normal Bible paper stock, but maybe you could do something. So all in all, I don't want to dwell too long on this because we have featured this Bible many times before. All in all, I think this is a step in the right direction for the Thompson chain reference. If you want my thoughts on this whole thing, for me, the important thing is that this Bible is being preserved and still being published. I don't mind too much by whom and where, as long as this Bible is still available to generations to come. And it certainly seems like it's going to be under Zondervan. I do think there's still improvements to be made on the paper and print. I still would love to see a luxury version of this. It hasn't been obviously picked up by a Cambridge or by Royal Youngblood or another such publisher. Zondervan have got it, so let's see what Zondervan can do with it. I don't know what the leather covers are going to be like. I personally would recommend you to stay very clear of this bonded leather thing. It's not nice at all, and I would go for a leather soft in the short term, or wait and see if there will be a decent leather bound edition. But all in all, I'm pleased to see some improvements to the readability, the paper and the print, which make up how we read the Bible. This is pretty good. How does it stack up next to something like the Church Bible Publishers? Well, I mean, all I'll say about the large print is that you've got this issue with paper and page margins, which again seem to be a little bit out and higgledy-piggledy in this version. I think I showed you all before the pages in Zechariah where the sort of it all gone to pot badly, but nevertheless, this is a good addition. Here you go. There's the page in Zechariah where the book heading just suddenly jumped right out, whereas it should be like that with a good margin, but then it suddenly jumps up to the top. So yeah, a little bit higgledy-piggledy, but this version is definitely more readable, but it is a beast. It is a big, heavy, chunky Bible. Has the paper shine on there, which I'm not sure if you can make out or not in the light, but this version doesn't seem to have those same issues with the waxy sort of paper, shiny paper. So I'm pleased to see that. I would just love to see this bound in a much nicer format. Still, this is a decent binding. This is an ironed calf skin from Church Bible Publishers, which actually, although it doesn't feel particularly luxury, it's nice, it's flexible, it's edge lined, which is nice to see. On my old Cambridge bonded leather Thompson, this is 30 years old nearly, and the text block has suffered somewhat, but the bonded leather cover was actually nicer than this. Obviously it has started to crack and it has started to show signs of wear, but my goodness, it lasted a long time and served me very well. If I refer back again to this old 4th edition of my granddad's, this is I think they called this cover a genuine leather cover or something, from the 60s. It's fantastic. It's so supple, and when you open it, wow, the text and the print is fantastic. There's like zero ghosting in this old edition, and the print is bold and stands out, and it's just a delight to read. And it's black letter. There's no red letter here at all. So it's fascinating to look back at how this Thompson has changed and sort of altered over the years. if this is the edition that we're going to get, I'm reasonably happy with it. But the bindings need to come on a long way. We need to see that improving quality, and I'd be quite happy to pay in this current marketplace. I'd be quite happy to pay, you know, £80 to £100 for a decently bound Thompson chain reference, especially when other publishers are selling Bibles for £200 plus. This would be great to see. Just upping the quality slightly, it would certainly sell. So all in all, a good start. This is some good signs here. The text block does seem to have improved, if you ask me, but definitely it's only half a job. We need to see these bindings and covers improve. So there we go. There's my thoughts on the new Thompson Chain Reference Bible, available to us now from Zondervan. Check it out and pick one up if you like the look of it. Okay, thanks very much, guys. Take care, and we'll see you on another video soon. Bye bye.